Slug number 1 comes from Mr. Ed Martin. Mr. Ed Martin is a professional fire chief, has served in various firefighting departments. He has several degrees in this technology and 35 years of experience in the field. He is the creator, developer of firefighter professional training programs. He states, "The primary function of a nozzle is to increase the velocity of the water flowing from the hose line. A fire stream must have sufficient velocity for water to reach from the nozzle to the intended target. The simple equation illustrated in Figure 2 is essential to understand nozzle design and performance. Flow rate, the quantity of water from a nozzle, is dependent on the area of the opening and the velocity of the water being discharged for a given size opening. The greater the velocity, the higher the flow rate." He states also, as indicated in the equation Q equals AV, flow rate is relative to velocity and to the size area of the nozzle orifice. The relationship is simple to understand when looking at solid stream smooth bore nozzles. Nozzle pressure translates to velocity at the tip. For a given size tip, increasing nozzle pressure increases velocity and thus the flow rate from the tip. For example, a 1 1/4 inch tip will flow 317 GPM at 50 psi. Increasing the nozzle pressure to 80 psi increases the flow rate to 401 GPM. The flow rate can be varied by changing the size of the tip, the nozzle pressure, or both.
Hey Nev, I've decided that I'm very interested in your idea here because I see the potential for it to make us a whole lot of money. If you can show this to be true, what you're saying, then there's some money to be made here. I'll explain why. On top of that, an experiment is worth a whole lot more than a million words. If you can just show that what you're saying is true, then that's all that's necessary. And I have the perfect way to do the experiment. Now, what you need is a 2-liter bottle, a hose, a nozzle, and some duct tape. Now, what you do is you cut the bottom off the 2-liter bottle. You attach the one end of the hose to the the other end of the bottle, the top end of the bottle. Duct tape it. Put your nozzle on the other end of the hose, and then fill the whole thing with water. You'll have something kind of like this. Now, if what you're saying is true, you should be able to do something like this if you move the nozzle down. And that would be quite interesting. There's a lot of money we could make with this, I'm telling you right now, so you should do this. Pull the hose down, nozzle down lower so that the water pressure builds up, and it should, based on the nozzle size, be able to exceed the height of the top of the water. And if you can do that, then you actually can create more energy than you put into the system by putting a little water wheel like this into the system. So, Neff, I mean, it would be excellent if you can prove this to be true because you're violating the first law of thermodynamics. Have fun, Neff.